Hello, welcome to Verbling. Hi there, I am Teacher Oakley. Once again, it is time to look at famous quotes. Today's class will be dedicated to the famous humorist, satirist to some degree, and writer Douglas Adams. Personally, one of my favorite authors. I very much enjoyed his works. I've read most, if not all. Douglas Adams wrote humorous stories, mostly science fiction, fantasy oriented. He also worked in comedy as a writer, uh, a little bit with Monty Python, for example. And okay, as we normally do, we'll look at the quotes, we'll examine them for any vocabulary or idiomatic phrasing that we need to figure out. And then we'll talk about the meaning of the quote. Now, we're dealing with Douglas Adams today. Douglas Adams was a humorous writer, so many of the quotes may just be observations that he makes about the world. Some are just, well, you'll see. Some are just strange and unusual things to say. Hello, Michael. Welcome to the class.
Hi, Oakland.
Hi. And hello, Anatoly. Hey, happy Saturday.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes,
Hi.
that's Saturday.
It is. Okay. All right. Have you ever read any Douglas Adams books before, Anatoly?
No, I haven't.
Okay. How about you, Michael?
No, I first time hear about this name.
Okay. They're funny. They're generally science fiction, but not hardcore science fiction. They're made to be funny, and they're made to be stories that reflect on, excuse me, modern society, cultural beliefs, and like that. So they're written very tongue-in-cheek, very satirical, but they're not satirizing the future. They're satirizing human society now, which makes them readable for anyone, regardless of how you feel about science fiction, in my opinion, anyway. For second language students who are learning English who would like to read English in a second language, actually these might be a great fit because generally they're quite short. They're not lengthy in any way. They're quite short books and novels. They are also use fairly simple language. It's not very complicated. It's not like great big fat classic novels with old English, archaic English, or any particularly overly challenging vocabulary. They have great readability, shall I say. They're easy to read. They're easy on the brain. Okay, let's take a look at some of these quotes. All right, screen share. Okay, number one, Michael.
I seldom end up where I wanted to go, but almost always end up where I need to be. What is seldom?
Not seldom is not often. Not often. Often and seldom are antonyms, opposite meaning. I often go to the movies. I seldom go to the movies. Totally opposite statements. Exact opposite.
So rarely, like seldom.
Rarely.
Rarely.
Yes.
But always I want to end up where I need to be. But almost I always where I need to be.
So what do you think he's saying here?
Well, he's saying that he rarely end up where he wanted to go. but almost always end up where he needs to be.
Yes, but does he actually mean physically? Where you end up, okay. It can mean two things. I was trying to get to Park Street, but I ended up at Maple Street. It can mean actual physical destination, or it can mean situationally. I went to university to become a chemist, but I ended up working at a travel agency. I don't know, like that. All right. Okay. So.
What does he mean by "I needed to be"?
Well, that's the question. That's exactly the question.
Where is was destinated for him by his life or what?
Well, that's the entirely debatable part. Does he mean that something or someone, is he being fatalistic and saying that's where that's the debatable part. What is he saying? I don't know. Does he say that is he saying it's fate, or is he saying where he personally ended up in a situation that he needed to be in, whether he knew he was headed there or not? I don't know.
Yeah, it was destinated. Is this correct to say?
No, you wouldn't say destinated. You would say predestined.
Predestined. So I see this quote, I understand this quote in this way, that he would like to go somewhere, like maybe not physically, as I said, but morally or something. But what happens next could be different that he wanted, but is certainly, by all means, he needed to be there.
Okay. All right. Anatoly, any additional ideas, or do you have a different view of this at all?
I'm trying to apply this quote for the everyday situation. For example, I have some money, and I'd want to buy a trip to the beautiful island, maybe, and the next choice could be I need to buy something which I need, and using that quote, I really not end up where I wanted to go, and perhaps more likely that I would buy some stuff which I need.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, that's kind of direct interpretation. Yeah. Okay. Well, you said that. Applying it to day-to-day life. Let me welcome Daniel to the class. Hello, Daniel.
Hi, Oakley. Hi, Michael. How you doing?
Hey.
Hi.
I have a picture for you, Oakley. Can you
do?
see in my profile?
I don't know. It's
Click in my...
Oh, yeah. The real reasons dinosaurs became extinct. A classic Far Side. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, you said it before in another class. How about that picture?
I instantly recognized it. Yes, it's one of my all-time favorites. Oh, good one. Okay. Anyway, hello, and what do you think of this quote? Have you ever heard of Douglas Adams, Daniel?
No. Is he a creative of Airplane, Douglas, or something? No.
Good guess, but no. In fact, he is an author and humorist. He wrote several novels, including Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy trilogy, Dirk Gently trilogy, as well as he wrote for the Monty Python comedy troupe a little bit. and a little bit for their movies. He also wrote for the Doctor Who show a little bit. So, yeah, he got around. He was also a comedy writer as well. Anyway, we're looking at his quotes here. And the first one here. Can you relate to this at all? I seldom end up where I wanted to go, but always end up where I need to be.
Well, I'm not good at this, but I will try it. Maybe he's trying to state that God or the universe has a predetermined destiny for all of us.
Okay. That's the debatable part. I don't know. And it could mean that, but to be... Okay, I can understand why you would say that. Totally, I absolutely can also interpret it that way. I'm not sure. But I will tell you, because I'm much more familiar with this author and all his works and even his opinions. Not only was he a writer, he was also very active in ecological movements, environmental protection. For example, he was one of the founders of the Save the Rhino, the Black Rhino. He did a lot of environmental work. He was also a very noted and outspoken atheist. So he did not believe in God.
No, but he could believe in karma and destiny and
he may,
things like that.
This we don't know. That's right.
Yeah, nature.
He was fascinated with nature and the universe. Yes, definitely. So it's hard to interpret. Welcome to the class, Ken. Hey, Ken.
Yes, hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks. Okay. Yeah, all right. Well, we're all got basically the same idea of this first quote. Pretty much. All right, let's move on and look at the next one, which is basically just goofy. Actually, Daniel, since you're standing in front of a plane, I'll let you read this one. Can you read this?
Okay, flying is learning how to throw yourself at the ground and miss.
Do you agree?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
A funny way to express this idea. There's really nothing to interpret here. I just wanted to share it because I thought it was kind of silly.
Kind of funny, yeah.
Yeah. A different way to say it. Oh, okay. Anyway, all right. Anatoly, let's try this one. Next one.
Mm-hmm. A common mistake that people make when trying to design something completely foolproof is to underestimate the eugenicity of complete fools.
Okay. Underestimate the ingenuity.
Ingenuity. Okay.
Complete fools. Related to ingenious and genius. Ingenuity. Ingenuity is intelligence and also creativity. It's ingenious to figure out a very difficult problem. You have to use your creative, adaptive brain. Okay, so we use the word ingenious or ingenuity to talk about that. Okay, Anatoly, what do you? What's his basic idea? Do you think?
I remember now about a method for creating new ideas, brainstorm, and nobody allows to criticize any ideas.
Right.
And it is a good way to go out of line, which our brain drew. I mean a restriction which we have, and maybe we can apply this quote to that situation.
Okay. Maybe. Oh, in a sort of back engineering kind of way. All right. I think I see your point. Welcome to the class, Heidi. Hello.
Hello?
Hello, hello. Nice to have you aboard. I'm going to talk to you in just a second after Ken. Ken, what do you think Mr. Adams is saying?
Yeah, since he's the author, it's like the wordplay of fool. So, but
Exactly.
kind of complete fool's ingenuity.
A little ironic.
I think so. But maybe he wanted to say that maybe complete foolproof is very difficult to create. That's my impression from this phrase.
Sorry, you broke up a little.
Okay, complete to design completely foolproof is very difficult. That's his idea.
Well,
from this
yes.
quote. Yeah.
Because fools are very creative in their foolishness. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Maybe.
like Anatoly say, yeah, brainwashing we don't need to care about, just get rid how can I say release the idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. Heidi, what do you think about this quote?
Maybe you can make a lot of things, but if you make some easy things, you underestimate that because it is easy. Then people tend to make mistake in that case.
Yeah. Okay. Right. You make something completely foolproof. You make it so easy, even a total idiot can figure it out. But
if we try the difficult thing, we are very prudent, so almost all cases we don't make mistake.
okay, well that's the idea of trying to design something completely foolproof. Okay, Michael, you have any thoughts about this?
No, but I understand this quote like that you cannot like you cannot predict or
Okay.
but what is more proper word than predict?
Predict is good. I jumped on that.
To forecast, like what like a fool could do, all the possibilities. So.
Okay, right. Very good. All right. I think that's pretty much saying it right there. Yeah, I kind of agree. It's impossible to predict how stupid people can be.
Kind of is without any deep meaning to this quote.
Kind of not.
He's trying being smart.
Right. I used to work in marketing, and we had an expression. Okay, because I was marketing in the United States, we had an expression: never underestimate the stupidity of the American public.
Oh my God.
Or the other version, it's impossible to overestimate the stupidity of the American public. The other version. Yeah, well, it's true. They'll believe anything. Okay. Completely foolproof, all right, is a very common phrase in English meaning to make something that is impossible to make a mistake on. It's impossible to misuse, to misinterpret. But there is no such thing, is what he's saying, I think. There's always someone who's foolish enough to not be able to figure it out. It's a pencil. How does it work? Okay, anyway, let's move on. Daniel, any last thing to say about this quote, or can we move on? No? Okay. Daniel? How about this next one? Are you there?
I think he wrote that he went.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I missed it in the other chat box. Okay, thank you, Michael. Okay, Ken, can you read this one?
Okay, there is a theory which states that if ever anyone discovers exactly what the universe is for and why it is here, it will instantly disappear and be replaced by something even more bizarre and inexplicable. Applicable, or there is another theory which states that this has already happened.
Okay.
Mhm.
Bizarre and inexplicable. Bizarre is a very extreme word for extremely strange, weird.
Mhm.
And inexplicable means something that cannot be explained. So even more inexplicable.
Mhm.
Okay. What do you think Douglas is saying?
Okay, but anyone, not exactly. Maybe he said there is no concrete theory, concrete answer for this universe.
Mm,
Yeah, because we don't know exactly. We have not known exactly yet what is the universe is.
okay. Right. I think
Why we are here or something like that.
directly interpret that. Heidi, is it possible to take the idea further, or is there anything different you get from this?
Hmm?
Hmm? Hmm?
The theory, which already someone already discovered, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's maybe it will recently disappear and be replaced by someone. Maybe at first discovered, but in that case, they don't use that theory, so once it disappears.
Okay. Because at some point somebody figured out what the universe was for. So, all right. That universe disappeared. Now we're in a second universe, which is more bizarre and inexplicable, which no one will figure out. Possibly. Oh, okay. Mm. Michael, any thoughts here?
No. Let's move to the next one. After
Okay.
someone else will explain.
Okay. Anatoly, any ingenious interpretations of this, or
I'm
quite
thinking now
simple?
about Second Life, about virtual world. We talked there with other people about when we are managing our avatars there. We don't know, maybe someone else is managing of ours above us, and maybe it is also about predestinate. Which
Predestination. We have no idea why. Yeah. Why are we doing what we're doing? Yeah, I think that is definitely true. I think Douglas is basically just saying that the how and why of the universe is more bizarre and unexplainable than we can imagine. And again, part of the reason I say this is I'm very familiar with his actual works. He actually has a book entitled Life, the Universe, and Everything, okay, and in which our proponent in the story tries to figure out the meaning of the universe. Another book in the series, The Restaurant at the End of the Universe. Through this series of novels, the proponent is trying to figure out the meaning of life, and he does.
Can I add something?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
back.
please.
I think he's trying to say, at least for me, there's no way you can find like a dead end road in the investigation of the universe. So, for example, if you
There you
already
go.
know why the universe is here and why, then you will question about who put the things that you discovered. So you will be have questions forever and ever.
Exactly.
Even more
Okay.
bizarre and
Very
unspeakable.
good. I'm with you on that. Okay, that's exactly what I believe that it's what he's saying. It will never end. The questions of the universe cannot possibly end. In his series of novels, he actually came up with the answer. The proponent did, and the answer to the meaning of life, drum roll please, was 42. Yeah. Okay. I gave away the whole series of books. All right. That's it. The answer was 42.
42 what?
I don't know. That was just the answer. So he found out the answer, and the answer was meaningless. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
that's interesting and at the same time stupid.
Exactly. And that's what his books are like. They're interesting and at the same time stupid. So it depends on your sense of humor if you would actually enjoy him or just be annoyed. Heidi, can you take a look at this next one?
Human beings are almost unique in having the ability to learn from the experience of others, are also remarkable for their apparent disinclination to do so.
Okay. Very good. Disinclination. If you're disinclined to go to the movie theaters, if it means you're not likely to go. You don't want to. You don't feel like it. You're disinclined to do something. You actively don't want to do it. Okay.
Already learned from others,
Mm.
then they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Oh, but what? Right, but he's saying it's remarkable for their disinclination to. They don't want to learn from other. Disinclination is negative. You can use inclined. I am inclined to believe. I tend to believe. Inclined is like tend, or I don't tend. Okay, they don't tend to learn from the experience of others. Do you think this is true? Yeah. In my experience, it's very true. Michael, what do you think?
Yeah, that's a good one. Quote, I agree. That he is implying that people, they are so smart that they can learn from each other, from other experience, but at the same time they don't want to do so.
Yeah.
Like they avoid that. So yeah, I agree. It takes a while to understand. So you should be more attentive to to look at others, to look what you're doing, to maybe to change something in your behavior or something like that.
We tend to wait until it happens to us. Anatoly, do you pretty much agree with that, or any other ideas?
Yes, I agree, and it could be better to learn on the mistakes of others, but unfortunately, we not always follow this advice.
Yeah, too true. In fact, we basically put this into axioms for life. Oh, you've got to let children learn for themselves. Oh, you've got to, I don't know. People talk about letting children make their own mistakes so that they can learn. It's impossible for them to learn if you just tell them, but it's kind of true. They don't learn until they make their own mistakes. Even as children, I can tell my child, don't climb up there. Don't climb up on the cabinet to try to steal the cookies. You're going to fall down and get hurt. This is my experience, but the child will do it anyway.
I think it's all about ego.
Ego? Really? Interesting. Really? That's a very interesting point. Ego meaning that the person just refuses to refuses to put the subordinate themselves to the knowledge of another person. Like
yeah,
that?
exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And also, as human beings, we love to disagree and to be always right.
Oh yeah, you're too correct. No, I disagree. I mean, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think you're definitely right about that. Ken, any last observations about this?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah, human tends to have this kind of tendency, and maybe maybe adult can climb up for the cookies, but we have desire, so maybe cookie change to the different thing. So
Right.
we humans sometimes tend to do stupid things repeatedly, again and again in the history.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Could talk about my history of romantic relationships for an example of that, but we won't. Okay, yeah. Uh, okay, this is just funny. There's no deep meaning here, but I just wanted to share it. Michael, can you read this?
He was a dreamer, a thinker, a speculative philosopher, or as his wife would have it, an idiot.
Yeah. Any thoughts about this? You know,
Well, I don't know. His wife,
you're not married, so
yeah.
Yeah. But I will tell you, okay, ourselves or even people that surround us may admire us and put us on a pedestal. He's a wonderful person. He's great. He's all these wonderful things here. A dreamer, a thinker. That's all wonderful and it sounds terrific, but his wife would just say, he's an idiot. And this is an interesting construction, which is also why I shared it. Or, as his wife would have it, it's interesting, would have it. This
What's
exists.
Speculative philosopher.
To speculate is to guess. So a speculative philosopher, somebody who speculated, made theories and conjectures about philosophical things, ideas, made bold new guesses. A speculator, as a noun, is a person who usually we're normally talking about business. They invest money in very new businesses, new technologies, new ideas, new methodologies. Because they're guessing or speculating that these new ideas will be profitable. Another common phrase, Michael, that you may incorporate more into normal speech is, I might say, I'm just speculating, but I think, okay, that means that whole phrase that usually is spoken like that, it just means I'm just guessing, but I think.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That's probably a wider usage. Okay. There's really not a whole lot here, but I can relate to this because I'm married, and definitely, no matter how my friends or other people may admire me, I'm just an idiot to my wife.
But I presume not always is like that. I presume not all wives says about their husbands they're idiots. So,
yeah, they do.
kind of generalization of Douglas.
Yeah, no, but it's true. I don't know. Others may disagree. Yeah, deservedly so. In my case, I mean, yeah, I know I'm an idiot, but many people do admire me. I know that too, but my wife knows I'm an idiot. But I'm okay with that. In fact, I'm glad of that. She loves me anyway, even though she knows I'm an idiot. So for me, that's a very reassuring thing. To be honest.
It is the female nature.
Yeah, I kind of think so. I really do, but it's reassuring. It's good for me.
Don't be humble. You are a philosopher.
Yeah. I'm a speculative philosopher, even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, Oakley's quote in the
advanced.
future.
But an idiot as well. Okay. Let's just move on. I just wanted to share that with you. Anatoly, next one.
Mhm.
Oh, I like this one.
Okay. It was a well-known fact that those people who must want to rule people are ipso facto those least suited to do it. Anyone who is capable of getting themselves made president should on no account be allowed to do the job.
Aha. Oh, well. What do you think of that? Are you familiar, first of all, before we tackle your perception of what he's saying?
No.
Ipso facto is.
Immediately. We
Uh,
have that expression in Spanish.
oh, really? Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. It really means by the fact.
By the fact.
Yeah, it's closer to therefore. Not quite immediately, but definitely with elements of immediately. So, by the fact itself, or therefore, but yes, immediately because of that fact. Yeah. Okay. So for an element, yeah. Okay, Anatoly, what do you think of this quote?
Should on no account be allowed to do the job.
Yeah.
It is advice not don't that they wouldn't go to the important role.
Yeah. Actually, this is another turn of phrase. Douglas Adams is fond of these a little bit unusual phrasing, but a little more artistic. I don't know, a little more interesting. So they're interesting to look at. Should on no account. Okay, Anatoly, if you are flying in an airplane, you on no account should you open the door in the back of the plane while you're flying. Absolutely don't do that. Okay, there's some good advice. It's a way, on no account is a way to strengthen advice, to mean just never, not even once. Okay. So it's a turn of phrase to make it very strong advice.
I'm not sure that I understood that quote right. Maybe he wanted to say that if you have opportunity to become president, for example, you shouldn't do it because not clever people usually are doing that job. Not sure.
Well, I'm not sure if it's opportunity, because anyone who is capable, capable means able through because of a certain skill set. So if I say he is a capable worker, that means he has learned the skills, he can reach the goals, he can get the job done. He's reliable and able, both. So okay, he is capable. He has the skill set and the ability of getting himself made president. Okay.
Can I add something?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, for example, in my country, there is like Canadian that states that people who talks like pirates, like 24 hours a day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, about themselves are actually retards, and people who talk quite or who are quite silent. They are wiser and actually they are clever.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay, maybe that's related. If you're, are you thinking about talking about yourself as one of the skill sets a president must have? Is that the parallel you're drawing?
Yep.
Okay. Well, you might have a point there. Sure. All right, Ken, any ideas here?
Kind of. He his talking is very ironical.
Yes,
Ironical, so he doesn't
it
talk
is.
straightly, so it's
That
a
is
bit
correct.
difficult to get the meaning. But
Absolutely, that is his style. He loves to.
so president should on no account to be allowed to the job. What is account mean this
It's
in
really
this
the
part?
whole phrase. On no account. You can put never in here for something that should not happen, not even once, never, never, never. It is just a way, a sort of turn of phrase, we say, a way to form a sentence to add extra emphasis to the idea. Never. It's a very strong never.
Hmm.
Never, never, ever be allowed to do the job.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, maybe sometime people and how can I say people show off something a lot, but that sometimes proves this capable uh, by themselves, or how can I say they are not confident. That's why they have to show off.
Hmm. Yeah.
Maybe that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. And I think you and Daniel are onto the same thing. Consider the skill set of someone who is capable of getting themselves made president. Okay, what skills do they need to have? And do you want that person as a leader? Heidi.
I think that
What do
kind
you
of
think?
powerful person who can make and who can rule other people, even who can make a president. But even though he made a president, but he don't want to make him have some job,
Yeah,
even though
well,
he wants to rule.
yeah, the job is the president.
President is a kind of example. President
Yeah.
usually he had a lot of power, but even the person capable person want to rule, even president.
Okay. Okay. I
Yeah,
see.
maybe
All right.
like
We're all.
shadow power or something happen often.
Mm, oh,
Even
okay.
in Japan, the person on the power. He had a lot of power.
Oh,
He
okay.
made some prime minister by his power, but he
Right.
don't want him to work by himself. He want to make him some marionette. Marionette? What?
Marionette,
Marionette. I'm sorry.
like a puppet.
Mhm.
Usually in that kind of metaphor that you're making, yeah, you can use marionette. That's not wrong, but we often talk about puppet rulers, and he's just a puppet for somebody else. We usually use puppet, but yeah, same idea. Obviously, marionette is obviously a kind of a puppet. All right, Michael. Any last ideas here?
Nope, no ideas.
Nope. No ideas. Well, I just think he's talking myself. I think he's talking about again that what anyone who's capable of getting themselves made president is probably lying, cheating, stealing, or so deeply overbearing that he pressures people into getting what he wants. All of which are not really nice qualities in a human being. Okay. Next quote. Again, another one I just wanted to share because I don't know why I find this funny. It's my bizarre sense of humor. This must be Thursday. I never could get the hang of Thursdays. Oh, okay, I don't know why. Uh,
It's literal, no? I mean, I don't have so much imagination when it's about to find out the meaning of quotes, but I think in Thursday you're in a weekend mood.
yeah, it's a little bit ironic, but a little bit just absurd. What's different between a Thursday and a Tuesday? Nothing. He's just saying, oh, I just don't do well on Thursdays. Okay. Anyway, it's goofy. Okay. Let's just move on here. Okay, wait a minute. Uh, uh, Daniel. Okay. Next one here.
Okay, the major difference between a thing that might go wrong and a thing that cannot possibly go wrong is that when a thing that cannot possibly go wrong goes wrong, it usually turns out to be impossible to get at and repair.
Hmm.
That's pretty hard though.
There's a lot of go wrongs in here.
Yeah.
Go wrong, go wrong, go wrong, goes wrong. Well,
What do you think?
what do I think? I think the first thing that popped into my brain when I read this.
Murphy's Law.
Sorry? Murphy's Law. Yes. Well, that was the second thing. I literally thought of something very concrete. But yes, Murphy's Law was right on its tail. My first idea was I used to have a car, which brand name shall remain nameless. I won't say. Don't even ask. But I had a car where the most simplest, stupidest part, which should never have gone wrong, did go wrong. And it's usually a part that you never have to replace in the car, but when it had to be replaced, basically a very small part, very simple, the entire engine had to be removed just to change this tiny, stupid part. Very literally, I remembered because I had this actual experience. Yeah, so I very literally could remember that vividly in my mind when I read this. And then my second thought, Michael nailed it, Murphy's Law. Yeah, it's very close to Murphy's Law, actually. That which can go wrong will go wrong, and at the absolutely worst time in the absolutely worst way. Yeah, what is it about our crazy universe that makes that somewhat
Yeah,
true?
also applies to an accident in aviation that was due to a fail in a light that cost 10 cents, I think, and the airplane crashed due to that. That was the reason.
Exactly. So that's a very concrete example of, I think, what he's trying to say. Why is that? Why does that happen? Michael, why is there Murphy's Law? What is up with that? Do you think it's true?
Because people are not ideal.
Because people are not ideal. You don't think it's just arbitrary chance, and it just seems to be things happen at the worst possible time. No.
No, but and I read the history of Murphy's Law, like the origin, and there was written that he worked in a repair shop. I don't know. So the place where they repair the airplanes, and he was very watching like the repairmans, and he like understood that someone always could make a mistake from them, from his team, and he like that's why he said like this is how I remember this law, his law.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. Anyway, Anatoly, do you think this is true? Do you think the whole Murphy's Law, the whole idea that the worst possible thing happens at the worst possible time, and Douglas Adams basically adds an addendum to that idea. also seems to be impossible to fix.
Mhm. I feel now that I lost in that quote because so many condition here.
Yeah.
I put it in the right direction and yes.
Yeah, okay, it's confusing. Again, he's just dancing around with his words to make it kind of more interesting. But okay, yeah. Basically, he's talking. Okay, the difference between when we say something might go wrong, then we understand going into the situation that all right, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. He's saying the difference between that and something that cannot possibly go wrong. Okay, this is an idea for Westerners, for English speakers. It can't possibly go wrong. If somebody tells you that, please start to think about it, because that's usually not true. Okay, it can't possibly fail, or it can't possibly go wrong. All right, when something goes wrong that might go wrong, which we know might go wrong, it's usually not that big a deal. But when we depend on something and we think it can't possibly fail, that is the time when it turns out to be really hard to fix once it does go wrong. Because, well, that makes sense. People put all their eggs in one basket. They absolutely depend on this one thing to not go wrong, and then it does. Okay. Well, Ken, and do you think Murphy's Law is true?
I don't know. And
Do
but
things go
maybe
wrong?
sometimes,
The worst
you know,
possible time.
yeah, sometimes worst thing happens in the worst time, in the worst place. But I don't know whether it is a Disney or rule or because of the Murphy's Law. But yeah, uh, so I don't know whether it is true or not.
Okay. I personally wonder myself. I mean, is it true, or is it just the perception, the human mind's perception to always. We tend to do weird tricks with our own brains. When we remember the far past, it always seems like it was so good in the past. We get nostalgic and everything was wonderful. Oh, I had such a great childhood, sure. But we conveniently forget about all the fights with our parents and fighting with our siblings and being embarrassed at school and all the problems we had. Similarly, when bad things happen, we tend to mentally over-exaggerate. Why is God out to get me? Why is this happening to me? Only me. I don't know. It's a weird thing with I don't know. Maybe I'm just full of baloney. Maybe it's just me. I'm not sure. Heidi, am I crazy? Have I lost my mind? It's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've lost my mind. Thank you. Thank you for
This is
confirmation.
right written for the future, but I think about the past, it's true.
The part about the past? Okay.
Past experiences.
Yeah. I think it is, but anyway. Okay. Uh, another stupid quote here. Time is an illusion. Lunchtime, doubly so. Okay.
Maybe he's trying to say that we are in a business society. There's no time for nothing. I don't know.
Yeah. Lunchtime.
But I don't
doubly
think so.
Yes. Time does not exist, especially when you're having lunch. Okay. I don't know. Again, goofy. Okay. I like this last one. Let me just skip forward to this one here. Okay. Um, uh, Ken, what do you think of this one here?
Okay, may I read?
Yes, please.
Okay. It is a rare mind indeed that can render the hitherto non-existent blindingly obvious. The cry I could have thought of that is very popular and misleading one. For the fact is that they didn't, and a very significant and revealing fact it is too. Very complicated. I couldn't get a meaning.
Mhm. Okay, well, there's definitely some. He likes these sort of convoluted phrasings. It is a rare mind indeed. Okay, well, this is not his own invention. These are classic writers' conventions. It is a rare mind indeed. Okay, rare mind indeed. A unique person, a unique thinker. Okay, that can render. If you render something, you change it. Okay, or you bring it forth. Okay, the hitherto, before now, hitherto. That's a strange word. Okay. Previously. Oh yeah, well that's better. The previously non-existent. Okay, didn't exist. Blindingly obvious. So they can render something blindingly obvious that was previously non-existent. Okay, so something that is useful, necessary, creative, but new, creating things, inventing things that are new. When people invent new things, people tend to say, "Oh, I could have thought of that." Oh.
Yeah.
Peanut butter ice cream, it's selling like crazy. I could have thought of that. Oh, why didn't I think of that? It's a rhetorical question we ask ourselves. The invention of the paperclip. Oh, come on. It's just bent wire to hold paper. I could have thought of that. But we didn't. I didn't, and you didn't. So he thinks that's the fact that no one invented the paperclip until the last century. Why not? There's been paper since Egyptians had papyrus. Okay, he thinks that is especially significant and revealing. What does it reveal? How is it significant? Anybody, everybody. We're basically just about out of time.
A miracle.
A miracle. It's the miracle. Peanut butter ice cream. How did it happen? Okay, the paperclip. Anybody have any idea? What does it reveal?
Maybe even it is such a simple idea, maybe before that, the accumulation of experience and knowledge or something exists. So,
I'm not sure what it reveals either. I'm seeing what ideas you have. For me, I don't know. Maybe it reveals that people make things overly complicated. They just don't simplify things. Humans are animals that think in very convoluted and complex ways, which is unnecessary. Possibly, that's what he's saying. I don't know. Possibly. He's saying human beings think like sheep, and we all just tend to go along with what already exists, rather than creating new ways to do things. I don't know. I don't absolutely know.
Maybe the way of stupid. Maybe if the people correctly to be stupid,
well there you go.
They can create Apple kind of thing or Google. But
right,
just stupid maybe doesn't create anything.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay. Oh, maybe
before the such kind of breakthrough invention, a lot of accumulation, the knowledge or experience or brainstorming, and that simple idea comes.
Okay, maybe even a simple idea comes from a lot of work. Is what you're saying?
Kind of, yeah. both intentional and unintentional.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Maybe that's what he's saying. I don't know. I think this one is easy to read a lot into, to interpret in many different ways. Okay. Anyway, that was Douglas Adams. If you appreciate his ironic, tongue-in-cheek style, you might want to check him out and read a book. Or if you thought he's an idiot, then now you know you don't have to waste your time. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. Thanks a lot, and I'll be back in a few hours from now. So, see you later.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
right.
Please.